man, so much stuff just accumulated over the years.
Yeah.
It's gonna keep growing. Soon we'll fill the whole house. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Juan Valtierra.
Yeah.
1V on the track, as you may know.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, of course. Now, tell us a little bit about what you do. You do a lot of things here and there. You're kind of all over the place.
Yeah, a little bit. So I started off with dance, I guess. I'm going to keep it simple because it can go on forever. I started off with dance. Originally, my love for art started with drawing. So when I was young, I started drawing. And I always had a passion for drawing. I was always good. People always told me I was good, at least. I don't know.
About what age did you start that?
As young as I can remember.
Yeah.
I just remember being like real young, tracing Dragon Ball Z characters and then selling them for the low.
Yeah.
I was back in like, first, second, third, like around the young age.
Mm-hmm.
Then as I got older, just really being involved in art classes in school, middle school, high school.
Mm-hmm.
There was something always artistic about me, but I was never confident enough to step on the dance floor. People invited me to join like quinceañeras back in the day, and I didn't want to, but somehow I joined, and that started my dance career from there on. Like I started looking into hip hop. I saw the Jabberwockies dancing on America's Best Dance Crew back in the day, and they motivated me. YouTube was popping back in the day, so I just looked up dance tutorials. So did the whole dancing thing. I'm still dancing. I'll go into the whole story a little later maybe, or a different time. But went from dancing to now doing music. And in between, we always needed photography or video, so I picked up some of that, video editing, all that stuff. Graphic design, a little bit of everything. Just because when you're independent, like, you gotta do it, or you gotta have some money, gotta have a budget. So we didn't have a budget, so just went to YouTube Academy and just looked up a lot of tutorials, tutorials, and taught myself about video, photo, music production, and now I'm just taking music full time and trying to pursue that. I volunteer a lot in the community. There's a organization in the Quad Cities called QC United, and they do a lot of events for the high schoolers. They do a lot of scholarship programs. They also have a program called Pete the Purple Bull, who's an anti-bullying mascot.
Pete the Purple Bull?
Yeah, Pete the Purple Bull. He's an anti-bullying mascot, and he's like this giant purple bull, so he's like cute and cuddly and soft and stuff. So he's not scary at all. And I help him just go around the schools. I perform a lot with him. We have a song on YouTube called The Posse. If you go on YouTube, look up Reflex with the RE-FL3X, and then look up The Posse, it'll come up. It's a music video with me and my homie Curtis, who's in LA right now. But yeah, man, bunch of stuff.
So it was like other people around you were like into dance, and is that kind of what got you into that when you were
yes and no. People in my family like to dance, but not like that. Only like family parties and stuff. But what really got me was a friend who was having a quinceañera, and she really wanted me to be a part of it. And she was having like a surprise dance that had hip hop in it, so that intrigued me. So I was like, okay, I'll do it for that. So right when we did that, like, it was a lot of fun. So we kept meeting up and linking up and practicing like at their house, and just kept going from there. Tried out for the school talent shows, and kids started noticing me from there. They're like, oh, I'd be walking in the hallways like, it's the robot kid or something like that. Just something random like that. But once I started doing that, I started hanging out with more people who danced, but before that, not really.
Cool.
So I don't know where it came from.
Now, what's your style like? Is it just like break dancing or
more
hip hop dance, I guess?
More like robotic, I would say. I like doing animation, which is more like popping more popping and locking. Breakdancing, like the head spinning and stuff, like I try to do, but when you try to do that on carpet, like you get rug burn a lot.
Oh my God,
yeah, so it's not that, and there's not a lot of space, you know, kind of like right here. I've tried to practice right there. It's not cool. So I stuck to doing like more robotic stuff that you could just do while sitting down, you know, some tutting, like little stuff like that you could do with just sitting down in the school. I would sit down and do it right there in the classroom. Kids would always ask me to show them how I do it. Like, do that finger dancing thing. I'm like, man, why did I show you? But yeah, you know, just a lot of different things.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, man, freaking YouTube Academy.
YouTube Academy, man, it's been my best friend for a long time.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier before we started, like we do a lot of the same stuff here, just learning how to, like, you know, do our own videography, our own music and stuff. Yeah, for that same reason, just DIY.
You know? So gotta learn it, or ask a friend, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think a lot of people in the community like are doing that, you know, just learning everything themselves. Usually, or building crews of people that know everything. Everyone's got a team. Yeah, you know, so that's
build
really
a team.
Cool. Yeah. So, and then with getting into doing music, that came first, and then you got into like the video and stuff.
The dancing came first.
Well, dancing, yeah.
Dancing came first, and then we got into video. We got into video like pretty early on, and it wasn't until like because we were hiring people to film our dance videos for us, and it was costing us a good amount every time we went to do it. So we just had like a little camera and some just, you know, little what's it called, Surface Pro editing, you know, editing videos on there, and just, you know, just from the need of it, from needing videos for ourselves without having to pay a lot all the time, that's kind of where it just started. And then as time went on, just spending more time on YouTube and learning how to cut, how to edit, different effects, stylistic stuff, you know, just different stuff like that.
I mean, if you can harness the skills yourself, might as well just spend a bit of money on the equipment rather than having to pay every time to hire somebody. So. And
it's a good investment, because then from then on, like, if somebody needs that service, you can provide it as well. You know, for a small fee, make your money back for the equipment. Right. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Now, you said earlier you were like a part of like a dance crew before, and you guys, like, toured around. What was that called again? It
used to be called Rush Hour. Okay. It was started off as a dance crew, but then it like dwindled down to a dance duo, which was me and my friend Curtis. He was dancing for a long time before I started, so he was naturally just like talented, and he's actually in LA right now pursuing just different opportunities out there. Nice. He was actually dancing behind Juice WRLD at Coachella just not too long ago, so it's like like that's crazy, you know. Shout out to Curtis. Yeah, shout out to Curtis, man. He was on Ellen too just not too long ago. Yeah, just little stuff like that just keeps adding up. He was in a commercial for a car. I can't even remember the name of the car brand, but it was a pretty nice commercial. I'll probably pull it up later and show you. But, you know, just from him doing the stuff, he pushed me to be better at dancing. I never really like compared myself against him, because he was just a whole different like body style. Like his dance style was just different. So I just pushed myself to be better, you know, for myself. I always have like I've always had this mindset to like whatever I set my mind to, like I can achieve. Right. So you know, a few months went by, and as I was training with Curtis and just practicing with him, I got really good. We started performing all over the place, a lot of the local elementary schools in the area. And then from there, like posting videos and stuff like that. People would ask us to come to Chicago and perform, to Minnesota. We went to Minnesota a few times to perform. And then just been traveling and practice and training, you know, rubbing elbows with people in the industry. Did that for a while. And just not too long ago, we actually changed the name to Reflex.
Yeah.
So the name was changed, and then Curtis went to LA. So now we're in Davenport, and it's mainly me heading the whole thing right now. But I got a group of students who are coming up. They've been with us for a long time, and they're just I think they're some of the best in the world, honestly. Like, they're coming up, man, and you're not gonna know where you're like, where these kids come from? But that's just how much like belief I have in them.
How young are some of them?
The youngest ones are like 12, 13, and then the oldest one right now is 18. And they vary, What
was your age when you started?
When I started, I was like 15, 16. So they got, way...
Getting a few more years?
Yeah, a few more years in the dancing world than I have. And, just with the level that we started them on, like we were not holding back when we were teaching them. So they grew really fast. Yeah. And now they're traveling too. They're in LA, competing and getting scholarships and, getting called out by like really big names in the dance industry.
Wow.
So it's really cool, man. It's just growing a lot.
Now, when you guys would travel out of state, what kind of venues were you playing? Were you doing like dance competitions, or like more schools and stuff?
We stayed away from competitions, just because competition world was just so like toxic, I think. Yeah.
Why is that?
Just everybody's very tense. The tension, not even like in ourselves, but like around us, like the team or just other people competing. I think there could have been times where we could have competed, but I don't know, it just wasn't the time. I do think there might be some competitions down the road, with the crew that I got coming up.
Right.
But I don't know, I feel like that we need to have a level of maturity within everybody to be able to handle those situations, because people can get big head, or they can get really discouraged if you don't know how to handle it,
Right.
So it's getting the right mindset. When we were younger, I don't know what would have happened, but we just mainly did school performances, assemblies. We put on workshops, different studios. We would perform halftime shows. We did the Harlem Globetrotters halftime show when it was called the iWireless Center, not too long ago. That was a lot of fun. That's on YouTube somewhere, I think. If not, it should be. But just different stuff like that. All kinds of stuff. We would perform at retirement homes for like elderly people, and they loved it. We would perform at preschools. So, the range was very wide.
Yeah.
Very wide.
Something that everyone can like get into.
Yeah. So. It was interesting when we would go to the nursing homes, because you just don't know what to expect. You're playing all this hip hop music, loud music, and you got these two guys that were just jumping and dancing and hype. But thankfully they received it pretty well.
I bet that's way more entertaining than the normal everyday.
Yeah, just got some young guys, and then we would share our stories too and why we did what we did, and they appreciated it a lot more. So that was really cool for us, to see people that were much older than us appreciate what we're doing.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Now, do you think you would ever end up going to like moving away or going to a place like LA, or do you feel like you would want to like stay in the QC? I ask a lot of guests that question.
Yeah. I think there's a time for it. I know it wasn't my time to leave when Curtis was ready to head out, so that's why I stayed. I don't really know like what it is, but there's just a feeling to where like I just know when it's time to go or not to go. And it's really me and just my connection with God and my faith is trying to keep me focused, trying to keep me like on the path, on the purpose that I'm on. So I feel like if I would have left, a lot of these kids that were dancing would have dropped off, left, fell off and stopped doing it just because nobody else was doing how we were doing it, and then also, you know, just building the relationships with the other people around me in the community. Because when it was me and Curtis, it was just me and him a lot. So now I'm like around the homies in the east side. Then I'm in Davenport a lot, going to different studios in the area. You know, now that I'm doing music, like it opens up a lot of different doors. But if the opportunities come and they ask me to move, I don't know if I would.
Come on, kids, we're all going.
Yeah. You know, they're growing, they're getting older, so there might be an opportunity for everybody. You know, I think that's my thing. I kind of think about a lot of people when I'm making decisions, because it's about me, but it's really about what we're all doing. You know, at the end of the day, I don't just want it to benefit me. Like what I'm doing, I don't want it to just benefit me. Yes, I do want it to be beneficial, but not just for me, you know? So the kids that have been putting in time with me, or people around me that have supported me, that have talent, like I want to have an open door for them to come with, or, you know, down the line be able to get there. But, you know, maybe travel in and out for now.
I was going to say, because you could have like a nice base here and then just get into
especially
just traveling a bunch.
Yeah, with the internet the way it is, you know, I don't have to travel everywhere. It is cool to network and, you know, get your name out and be recognized by people, but you can do that through internet a lot right now. So I'm gonna keep pushing through online, and if it comes to where people just need me to move somewhere, we'll figure it out.
Right.
We'll figure it out. You know, take it one day at a time, man.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of times when I ask that question, usually a lot of times guests will say like they do want to stick to the QC, and I don't know. It seems like I feel like there's like a growth happening to the QC.
It's growing.
You know?
I've
like
seen
artistically, culturally.
I've seen it coming for a long time, man. Like I was like, man, this is like a mini like Chicago, like
right.
Like, you know, and it can get to that level if people, you know, start acting right, you know, get that artistic community going and supporting each other, which I see coming. And I feel like I have responsibility in that too, and making it a welcoming environment. You know, when I come around, like I'm cool with everybody. Like I might not rock with your music, I might not listen to or play your music or promote it, but I'm cool with you. You know, if you're a cool person, like I'm cool with you. But and that kind of breaks down like the differences. You know, like just because I do hip hop, you do rock, that don't mean we can't have a good conversation about you know, just different things about music, or just totally unrelated music stuff. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just building those relationships, building the community up to where it leaves room for growth. Because once you start like coming at each other, and nobody wants to be an artist when all those egos are in the way. You know?
Right, yeah.
So you just like, man, like that's not fun anymore. So we try to make it fun. All the different shows I've been to that I like filmed and stuff from the homies from East Moline, my homie TC, you know, all the shows we're doing, like it's just fun, like everybody's safe, like nobody's acting out, and if somebody is acting out, you know, like we'll make sure to cut it out and get it situated, because I feel like we all need to be a part of it somehow, you know, in the community, whether it's just, you know, letting people know to be safe, you know, be safe, like, take it easy, be chill, you know, don't cause drama, like, you know, like, don't bring that to the shows.
You hear those stories sometimes, like with local shows, like, oh, this happened, that happened. It's like, I mean, you know, I've been playing around for a while, and I've never, like in the past or even now, it's like I honestly haven't noticed much, like where I've been playing or shows I've been playing. I think it's probably like small isolated incidents here and there, you know. So generally I think everyone's basically cool. You know, it's just like maybe a few people sometimes, like you know, stuff goes down or whatever. But
I think it used to be, I think just the music has changed. It's not like as aggressive. I have heard like some like of the younger kids try to be like really aggressive with their music, and sometimes I feel like that's what causes problems. It's like being overly aggressive or really just dissing people from Iowa side. It's like, bro, they're right there, like, and, you know, like it's unnecessary, I think. And sometimes that extra energy, like just aggressive and violent energy, just causes stuff like that, you know. But when you're just cooling, you know, making fun music or making music to encourage people, which I've seen like a shift happening over time. It's just people trying to be better and it's being portrayed in the music. I've seen like growth in a lot of people, and I'm excited to see what happens in the next few years.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like we're blurring the lines between like the cliques of like, the rock musicians, the rap musicians, the whatever. I feel like everyone's coming together more as like a greater community.
Yeah.
It seems like. So everyone's starting to kill their egos and this and that. So, I think it's all gonna head to a good place.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
And then, especially with the whole dance thing, too. Like, I mean, I'm very ignorant to that. I don't know anything about it, really.
Yeah.
Like, and like you said, like, with staying in the QC, too, like, that's something that you'd probably have a big part in, like, growing bigger, just the dance scene in the area, too, and all that. So it's like, everyone plays their part in the community. So, yeah, I mean, it can only go up from here, basically.
For sure. I'm definitely trying to grow the dance scene a lot more while I'm still in it a lot. I feel like there's gonna be a time when I slow down from it. I'll still, be practicing and freestyling myself and getting better, but it'll probably be a time when I'll like step back from teaching a lot, or just like doing dance related stuff. I'll always be, in it somehow. Whether it's like just giving people advice or even just choreographing,
right? But having them in your videos and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. But I want to promote more dance in the community just because I know what it has done for me. It's kept me out of a lot of trouble. It's also gave me purpose. It's given me purpose in a way to where people. It brings people joy, when it comes to like the entertainment and the music that we do, why we do it. It lets people kind of just live in the moment and appreciate, what we're doing. It also, what I notice is it breaks down a lot of barriers, a lot of cultural barriers and a lot of language barriers. You don't have to speak English to watch a cool dance performance. The music, even though you might not understand the lyrics, you can see the movement and the energy and the emotion behind it, and you understand it. You're like, oh, that's cool. Like, hey, however that makes you feel. So I know like dance has had a huge impact in my life and in the life of the students that I've taught. So I want to really promote that, and not just like the studio dancing, like just street dancing. Like I want to see kids at the park having dance battles, like stuff like that. At the mall, like linking up just for a dance battle or just for freestyle. I'm having like a series of just freestyle sessions every Thursday night at 7 p.m. at the studio where I teach in Davenport, and those are open for anybody that wants to come out. We do ask that people just be respectful, don't come out here and try to, take over, respect what we have going on, and also just, have fun, like, it's all just to have fun.
What studio is that?
I'm over at the center. It's, have you ever heard of Skate Church?
Yes.
Yeah, it's right there in the same building. Cool. So it's at the center off of Brady Street, and that's where we teach our classes right now, temporarily. We're working on trying to get a building down the road, but that's going to take some time and funding. So, so we're trying to expand that too and take it different places. I want to go to different parks in the communities and just set up a speaker and just start dancing. I'm going to film everything, so we'll have access to those videos, and you might see them pop up down the road, but yeah, that's happening too.
Maybe you guys could like get spots like performing, like opening for like local hip hop shows too, or something like that.
Yeah. Recently we haven't. We try to stay away from opening a lot of different places just because like my students are so young, and the shows are like just explicit. So I try to stay away from doing a lot of shows. If anything, I might do a little bit, but most of the time I'm filming or taking pictures at the shows.
Right.
I do want it to be a thing down the road, but I'll probably have them like open up for my set or something. And just, I try to be cautious of where I put, where I bring them and where I invite them to. Just because they're at a very impressionable age.
Right.
Just want to make sure that they're cool, and they're not like, whoa, what's going on? All these people,
right,
you know?
Right. Yeah. So what is the dance scene around here like? Since I'm ignorant to it, like, is it very big at all, or is it not? Is it smaller? And has it like grown since you've started?
It has and it hasn't. When we started, we had like a lot of people like going on because we were at every school. Like we were at every school. If you ask like kids that are in middle school nowadays, like, hey, you remember Rush Hour? Oh yeah. I remember those dudes. You know, they might remember, but so a lot of kids were dancing like when they were younger. Mm-hmm. As you get a little older, you know, you get too cool. You're like,
right?
I don't want to see it. I don't want to know I can dance. You know, I might think it's goofy, you know, or whatever. And that's what held me back a little bit when I started doing it. That's why I didn't want to start. But as I got going, like, it was just fun and it was just cool to do. But I feel like it's growing. It's just in a weird phase right now to where it's just not a lot of people doing it. It's just like me and a few others. I know there's a few dance studios around here that are pretty well known, but hip hop dance in general, I feel like is just like myself. There's this girl named Essence doing a lot of stuff too. She used to dance with us back in the day, like way back in the day. There's videos of us. We did one at Rock Island, Shreveport Park, a very long time ago. She was like this big. But now she's like taking kids to LA as well and like taking them performing and stuff. So nice. There's like groups that are coming up. It's just like not expanding as much from there. Everybody's just like staying here, which that's what I'm trying to push with the freestyles and just bringing different people in, you know, go to different communities. 'Cause I feel like it kind of stays where we're at, you know, where I'm at and where like Essence is at, or where, you know, my friends that are dancing are at. That's kind of where it's at, but it don't expand too much from there, which is it needs to change.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. What do you think needs to happen for it to expand more? What needs to be done?
I think us just really going around different places and just getting people excited about it. I know like the dance videos, the freestyle dance videos that I'm gonna be putting out will start getting excitement around here in the local areas, because they'll see people they know. It's like, oh, I know that kid,
right? Or
I know that place. You know, we go to a certain park. It's like, I was just there like before they showed up.
Yeah.
Or they'll be in the videos. You know, I think the videos are what's gonna help push it. And if more people do it, the better. You know, I'm not trying to make it a thing to where it's just me doing it. I never want to make it a thing to where it's just me doing what I'm doing. Like, you can do what I'm doing, just make it your own way. You know, make it unique to who you are. You know, so I want to encourage people to post dance videos and, you know, just being goofy. You don't have to be the best dancer ever, you know. People get shy from dancing because they think they got to be really good. It's like, nah, like, no, not at all. Like, we enjoy watching people just have fun more than somebody just killing it and going off. Like, that's cool to see, but we'd rather see you break out of your shell and step out of your comfort zone and into something new.
Seems like that would be like dance would be a really good like confidence builder.
It is. Yeah. It is, man. It helped me a lot. I was very insecure in middle school, growing up, even in high school. English is my second language, so I spoke Spanish like for a long time. So I was always insecure about speaking in front of people. So it's funny that I'm making music now and it's like mainly in English. It's just funny how stuff works. I go to a lot of schools and speak different anti-bullying events and speak to people. And I always just think back to when I was like so insecure about saying just one word that might sound off and people will pick at it like, you know, and it might have been, you know, harmless and stuff, but it did something inside me. It was like, man, I ain't saying nothing else, you know. I'm just staying quiet. I ain't speaking to nobody, you know. So when I was dancing, I didn't have to talk. So, you know, it helped that the movement that I was doing was just, I could just move, not have to say anything. And I kept practicing, got better. People would tell me I was good. Speaking opportunities would come up, you know, like people would ask me questions like this, and I'd have to answer in the spot, you know, in front of people. So definitely it would put me in uncomfortable places that would set me up to be more confident down the road.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Man, it must be so weird having like English as a second language.
It is very weird. English is a weird...
Like, I have no idea because I only speak English.
Yeah, English is a weird language, man.
Especially like, American English. Just like learning all the weird like sayings and like whatever, you know, like so many words are pronounced the same, spelled differently, you know, this and that.
And now with like the texting age, like everything's like just like 3 letters, I mean a whole sentence. When I was like learning English, everything seemed backwards to me.
How old were you when you started? Were you very young?
I was young. Well, when I started school, because at home everybody speaks Spanish.
Right.
But when I started in school,
like kindergarten, whatever.
Yeah, like elementary school, just the whole time, like it was always a struggle.
It's good to learn young. Like I've heard, like it might be like more difficult when you're older. Like as a young kid, it might be easier, sort of.
It's always easier to learn young because you don't think about it. You just repeat what you're saying, or you're confident. You know, you don't have that insecurity that people might laugh or you might say around. It's that confidence, that innocence of you just going for it and trying. And if you mess up, try again, you know, and really that's how you achieve anything. Just keep trying, you know, until you get it. If you don't get it and you quit, then you're not going to get it, you know. But, you know, it was always backwards to me. I always thought in Spanish, I would, when especially in math, I always counted in Spanish. Like my math was just in Spanish. I always did like multiplications in Spanish. It was just so weird. But it's funny because I have a homie who's from Nepal, and he English is his second language as well. He still till this day he struggles a little bit with just like the sayings and like people being sarcastic, like sarcasm, and stuff like that. Weird
things.
Yeah, he's like, why don't you just say what you mean? You know,
what's
like,
going on here?
Yeah, it's like. He's always so confused. He's always so lost.
Man, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I try to explain it to him. You just gotta be patient, you know, and try to walk him through it because I know what it's like. Like, no, bro, that's not what he means. Like, this is what he means. It's like, oh, okay. And then him too, he would say certain stuff, and it would come off as rude or like, you know, like I don't know, but he's just like straight to the point,
right?
Like, you know, sugarcoat anything. Or, there's no like. You know, underline saying or something, like he just straight tell you like, hey, your hair is not cool or whatever. You know, he'll tell you what he thinks, you know?
Yeah.
Which is cool too.
Yeah, I think it's good to do that. Just be upfront. Be blunt.
I mean, you just gotta be, you know who you're around, you know who you're talking to. Like, don't go all in on somebody's physical, you know, appearance if you don't know how they feel about it, you know?
You should just be a comedian. Just start roasting people. Or something.
You know, people. Yeah, he is pretty funny. People do laugh. I don't know if they laugh at him or with it, but he's a funny dude. He's funny. That's my homie B-Beck. Shout out to B-Beck.
Yeah. Now, since you were learning English like really young, did you know how to write Spanish?
Yeah. My mom actually did a really good job of having me read and write in Spanish. I don't consider myself like an expert with the grammar and stuff. Even like with like English, I still struggle. So
it's like you had to go into school that you already knew like how to kind of write Spanish, and then you had to learn how to write English as well.
Yeah.
Is it like kind of easy? Because I mean, it's like like the normal alphabet.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like I had this one lady on here who's a photographer. She's like originally from. I found out she was originally from Russia. Like, oh God, that's got to be weird. Like crazy symbols and stuff. You know, like.
Yeah, the whole alphabet. It was pretty. It wasn't as hard, I don't think, to write. It was more hard to pronunciate. Because like when you're writing, you can kind of pronounce the vowels and the syllable, whatever, and be able to tell what you need to write. And I always like sounded it out in Spanish. Whenever I would for the spelling bee or whatever, I would read it in English and then Spanish and how it would sound, and I would write every letter, because in Spanish you pronounce every letter. English, you there's silent letters, and there's the same word is pronounced is
or instead of an F, it's like a PH.
Yeah, I mean there's some of that in Spanish too, but I don't even know, just words that mean this different things, but they're the same thing. They're written the same, but or it's just weird. It's just a weird language. It's cool, you got a lot of slang, and you can, I don't know. It's interesting.
At least you got it down. So
yeah, for the most part, people still they tell me that I sound that I never really struggled with my English, which is cool. But I feel still I need to improve in my pronunciation. Sound more proper,
Now, how old are you now?
I'm 24.
Cool.
Yeah.
So did they just focus on by the time you got to the end of elementary school, you basically had it down?
No, it took me a while.
They had to keep on with it?
Yeah, because in school, the only person that I could practice with was my teachers. The little friends that I had, it was very small friends, friendships. They didn't really feel comfortable with Spanish, so they struggled. They would speak Spanglish to me, so it was hard. It was
now you're really confusing me.
I know, I know a little bit what you're saying, but I don't know, man. And they couldn't translate to me, so I had to always ask the teacher. So it was a struggle. It wasn't until middle school, when there was other kids who spoke more Spanish and I could talk to them, and we were in the same classes. That's when it got a little easier for me. Probably until high school, was when I started getting more comfortable. And it wasn't until the dance stuff that put me out in front of people and speaking that it actually pushed me to just speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because I would always do slang around my friends or whatever, but when I was speaking in front of people, I had to be a little more proper, deliver a message, say something.
Right.
So yeah.
When you were younger, did you ever accidentally you're speaking in English and it goes Spanglish or something, throw in?
Yeah, that still
Spanish
happens.
words?
That still happens. It's weird how that happens. Your brain, you try to switch your brain back and forth. I'm married now, and my wife speaks Spanish. She's fluent in Spanish, so we go back and forth from English to Spanish all the time. Sometimes it just out of nowhere, it's what? It's why did you just say that in English?
I thought we had an agreement that we were speaking English this time.
Yeah, there's no agreement, but we just talking out of nowhere, and then some Spanish gets thrown in there. It's
I got to switch my brain over to think
it's
that
you could have just said that in English. But I don't know. I do that sometimes too.
Yeah.
I do that to friends who don't speak Spanish sometimes. I'm I'm sorry, man. There's this homie who dances with me. His name is Joe. And he's Mexican. He has some Mexican in him, but I always think he speaks Spanish just because he just I don't know. He just looks like he would. So I always try to talk Spanish to him. I'm oh man, I'm sorry. I forgot.
No, I just need to teach him. Just teach him Spanish.
I'm trying.
He'll get it.
Yeah, just
don't worry, Joe. Just keep at it.
Yeah, stay encouraged, Joe. He's overseas right now for military purposes. So shout out to Joe.
Yes, sir. That's cool. Now with your being a hip hop artist, I know you do songs. Do you mainly just make beats, or is it kind of a bit of both, making your own songs and making beats for people or for sale?
So I do both. I started off. So in my mind, I always saw myself performing. When I started off, I didn't really feel comfortable writing and performing songs. So I started off producing, and I'm still producing to this day, and I feel like I will be producing for a long time. And I started making a bunch of beats, a whole bunch. I started putting them for sale online for lease, to be able to lease them. And then I started rapping to them just to get songs out, getting started. And really just to promote the brand. You know, I feel like music is all just to promote. I don't necessarily see it like as the main thing is to promote something else. You know, it's all just like a vessel for a message, or like a something that you want to say. So for me, a lot of it is with the anti-bullying program, with finding your purpose in life, you know, staying encouraged, you know, taking it one day at a time, just messages like that will keep people, give people hope, you know, let them, you know that they're not alone. Just stuff like that, especially nowadays with social media and all the overwhelming, you know, there's just been too many suicidal, you know, situations, a lot of depression stuff, to where like this is what I'm focusing on, and like, you know, the mental illness part of it, and trying to just give people hope with the music, you know, giving something that they already listen to. Just, you know, you listen to music all the time, so listen to something that will encourage you. You know, you don't have to listen to it all the time, but at least once, you know, at least once a week, once a day, whatever, and you know, get a good boost for your day, just to get you going through the day. I know music did a lot for me when I was coming up. When I was coming up, like Lil Wayne, Tyga, and all these dudes were like coming up, and they were just talking about whatever. So I was trying to do that too, you know, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who was trying to do those things, just from trying to be accepted, you know, trying to be cool. Kids like me who weren't cool in school, who weren't accepted, or had a clique, you know, a group of kids who you were accepted by. Like, I was just kind of more on my own for the most part. I had friends kind of everywhere, but it was kind of me. And, you know, I just tried to be accepted, try to do what the people were talking about on the songs, you know. And I realized that wasn't the route for me, you know, that it really wasn't helping me go anywhere. I was really wasting a lot of time. And it was making my parents upset, you know, that I was being influenced by a lot of the music that I was listening to, the culture that I was surrounded by. And it wasn't until we started listening to just different music. Curtis and I actually got on the road to start listening to music. We were performing for kids a lot, so we were always conscious about the content, the songs that we were performing, try to make them clean, or pick clean versions, right? And then from there, it's like even the clean versions are like iffy. So we stopped. Like, we just started doing beats, instrumentals, just like trap beats. This was before even like trap started popping, like DJ Snake and Skrillex and like EDM and like dubstep type stuff started popping. And then we just realized that the content was important, and not just the dancing, but the music that we were delivering to, right? Just because of the influence that it had in our lives. Curtis saw it in his life as well, you know, and it was just acknowledging that and seeing that we weren't the only ones being affected by it. It's like this person next to me is probably being affected by it without you even knowing, you know. We're very impressionable people, you know. By seeing something, you might want to do that just by seeing it or hearing something, you know. So just be careful about what you surround yourself with. That's what I would say to people. Right.
It can shape you, you know.
Yeah, it really can, you know. People have a big influence on you, like whoever you hang out with all the time. You know, they say you're like what did they say? The average of like the 5 closest people you hang out with, like that's who you are. So who is that? Like, look around you and like who do I hang out with? What are they doing? Where are they going with their lives? You know, are they going anywhere? Are they helping me? Are they promoting me? Are they encouraging me? And what am I doing? Am I like them? Am I like, you know, these people, whoever? Because it really does. It does something to you, you know. You need accountability. especially as an independent artist. Like, you can get lazy if you want, but you're not gonna get anywhere, right. By doing that. So you need like a friend. Like B-Big would do that a lot for me. Curtis, just friends. Joe, TC, always checking up on me, making sure we're good. Like, hey, when's the next song? Like, hey, how you doing? We always have conversations about how we're doing in life. So just keeping a good group of people that will hold you accountable. If you say something that you're gonna do something, all right, where's it at? Just to keep you on your toes, keep you moving, so you don't stay in the same place.
Right. Hell yeah. Now, so you're really close with TC Boyd, the artist.
Yeah, that's my homie. Yeah,
had him on a while back. How did you get to know him?
So long ago, before before the dinosaurs and stuff. I'm just kidding. It was like 2015, around 2015. He moved to the Quad Cities from Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the year, but I'll have to confirm that with him. That's not good that I don't know, but he came and he was looking for somebody who was doing music and rap and just in the hip hop industry. And he had heard about us by his mother-in-law. Randomness. His mother-in-law knows about these two hip-hop guys. So she gave him a business card that she had from us, and then he contacted us. He came down to the studio downtown East Moline, and we linked up with him. He told us about what he was trying to do with the music and stuff, and this was before I started producing, before I was doing music and stuff. So when he came, we saw like the energy. He was very energetic.
Oh, yeah.
Very good performer.
Puts on a good show.
Yeah, very good. He gets everywhere. He makes sure he gets all up in your face, which we really like that about him. And he was just a real humble dude. So from then on, I was interested in the music production side of it. So I reached out to him a little more for that, Mm-hmm. So we would link up at his house, and he would teach me some things about making beats. He taught me a lot of things, actually, now that I think about it. And Jordan Atwater, too. Mm-hmm. He helped me out a lot. And C. Gray, too, back in the day. So, hey. Mm-hmm. But these dudes, man, TC was, one that was there consistently with me. Not just talking about the music, but just about life too,
Right, yeah.
He shared his testimony with me about, his brother. He actually just dropped a whole short film music video.
I still have to peep that.
Bro, it's powerful. But I helped him film that too.
Awesome.
And he's just been a cool bro since then. We've been working on music. Well, I got a song coming out with him here pretty soon, and then we're trying to keep pushing each other with the music side of it, just the business side of it, just everything.
Yeah, definitely. Man. Now, your name, 1V on the track.
Yeah.
Is that just like a play on Juan V, or?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Have any other meanings or anything?
No, super, just simple story, man. Back in the day in high school, I was just sitting there, and this was when I was just dancing. There was a homie, he was like, hey, man, I think your artist name should be Juan V. I'm like, what? What you talking about, man? He's like, yeah, Juan V, just the number one letter V. I'm like, all right, I'll think about it. It was way back. I ain't never thought I would be doing music, I always thought I'd be dancing. So that just started from there. And then I also realized that people had a hard time saying my name, Juan Valtierra. Mm-hmm. Juan itself is kind of not normal to a lot of people. So they would say Juan, with the W,
That's
Juan.
basically how I say it.
Or Juan. With a Q, Quan,
yeah.
Or Quan,
Quan, yeah.
And people can't spell it. It's 4 letters, but
that's got how.
It always gets
dumb, man.
It always gets misspelled somehow. Everybody does it
with
man.
a W or something.
Yeah, W with a Q, or the letters are reversed, or I don't know, man. But so I was okay. How about letter 1 and letter V, and keep it simple. And then just add on the track to make it know that it's music,
right.
or music related. So yeah, super simple, man. Nothing too crazy. I asked somebody to see, like, or I put a post on Facebook to see like what people thought Juan V stood for. Someone went super deep and like the one that's victorious, like this and that, like gifted. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go with that.
How'd you know?
It's a lot better than what I had came up with. But it might turn into something else down the road. I don't know. It's just something that started off like that, and just nobody else was using it. So
awesome. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's important.
Want to be on the track?
Hell yeah. I don't want to keep you too late. I know you got to get out of here soon, but I wanted to ask you. So, what do you see with all this stuff that you do? Where do you see yourself in the future? Like, where do you want to be in the future? Like, where is this all going to lead?
So, it's a hard question because
it is.
The future is hard to tell. Ultimately, what I would want from all of this would probably be like the end goal has always been to have buildings, have like community center type places for creatives, for people like me, who have a passion for art, music, dance, photography, video, and need a place to do it, and that will encourage people to be better, just live a better life. Will help you stay out of trouble, will help you with school, will help you with, financial stuff, get your financial stuff together. I want to open places like that kind of all over the world. Yeah. God willing, and you just open doors, provide opportunities for people. I don't know, what exactly that's going to be yet, but I just know like community centers, opening the door for kids mainly, and young people in high school maybe to start getting into music, the art, just art in general. Because art is very powerful, and it's being neglected a lot by like the schools and,
right.
Just like a lot of different people don't see the importance of it. So I want to keep pushing it, especially good art, art that's gonna make you feel some type of way or make you think about things, not just stuff that's just like, oh yeah, okay, we've seen that a bunch of times, something that will impact you. And just really my ultimate goal is just to help people think outside the box, think bigger. You have a world map right there, right. As big as it might seem, it's a pretty small place. You can travel all over the place. It's just, what do you want? Knowing what you want, and if you know what you're going for, everything else will kind of fall off to the side. It's like, okay, so I'm going for this, so I'm definitely not gonna try to be like this over here or this over here, because my goal is here. Right. So think about what you want to do, man. Think about long-term stuff like that. Don't commit yourself too much to it. Like, keep open-minded, because if it doesn't happen and you're heartbroken, you're gonna be very upset. Right. So it's just trying to be patient, take it a day at a time, making sure that I make moves. Like coming here and talking to you is big, because it's helping me get the name out there. It's helping me practice my interviewing skills. It helps out a lot. And it's just little stuff like this that it's just steps.
Just gonna snowball effect.
But you need to keep moving and keep pushing, or else it's not gonna happen. So every day I try to make a conscious effort of doing at least one thing that's gonna set me closer. If I can do that one thing, or encourage somebody, I'm cool with that day. Like, it was a productive, successful day.
Right, yeah. Most definitely. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Seems like you're on the path, working with the young kids and stuff. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Man. Trying, I know I would have loved for people to work with me when I was younger, mentored me or told me that I was on the right path or doing good or not doing good. Yeah. Which I didn't really have too many people telling me, especially people that I looked up to, people my age that were doing hip hop stuff like rap and dancing. It was just like, my parents would tell me stuff, like they made sure to tell me what I should and shouldn't do, but it wasn't what I was doing all the time. You get influenced by other people. But that's where somebody like me could come in and be like, hey, bro, like, think about it. It might not be what you should do. And then when you're in those situations, you'll be like, oh, dang, like, this one dude told me, like, I respect him a lot, so, right. Yeah, I'm going to pass, on whatever it is that you might think about doing. Yeah. So it'll at least make you think twice. It's not going to guarantee that it'll, make you live a better life, but it'll at least make you think about it.
Right, yeah.
And that's all we want,
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a lot of times it's very important for young people, to have like some kind of mentor or some kind of guidance.
Yeah,
especially if they're not getting it a lot of times in areas where they should be getting it.
Yeah. And I see that a lot.
From like a troubled home or something,
I see that a lot, man. Unfortunately, a lot of our kids right now are suffering, not just kids at my dance studio, but just kids that are out in the schools. When I go to schools, a lot of kids come up to me as I'm sitting there just waiting for a ride or just waiting just to perform. They come up to me and start sharing personal stuff, and it breaks my heart sometimes, man. It's like, man, like these kids, they're young, they don't even know what's going on, and they don't know how to handle all this stuff. So, they grow up thinking it's normal, and the cycle continues. Yeah. So it's just letting them know, like, hey, it gets better. Do your best.
Probably gives you more of a purpose too,
Yeah, it's a good reminder, man.
Yeah.
And at the center, there's a lot of people there who don't have a home, so they come there for help, for assistance with food, with clothing, with shelter, just all kinds of stuff, man. And it just keeps you humble. It reminds you that, that everything you have, like, that we should be grateful for. Just having a roof over our heads, should be a huge blessing for anybody who has one. And then having a meal, clothes that you can change into, man, like simple stuff, bro. Right. Simple stuff that just keeps me grateful for every day, man. And it lets me see people for who they are too, I look past the superficial stuff, past people's appearance, and just try to, like, hey, man, like, I know you right now, like, you're a cool dude, man, who's just trying to get to know more people, put people out there, really not, having any, what's it called? Just like selfish, like, stuff. Like, I could just tell that you're a real, raw, like, just down to earth dude that just trying to help people, man. Just trying to be, be the best that you can be. Right. Get your podcast going, man. This is cool. I'm gonna have to get some tips from you, man.
Yeah,
got the whole setup.
Get a 1V podcast.
Yeah, I have notes.
Yeah,
I have notes. It's already, right now. I just got to start it.
Nice. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. But keep it going, though. I want to see more. Tell them how to get
a hold of your, like, on social media, whatever.
Yeah, 1V on the track, everything.
You had 1vonthetrack.com too.
Yeah, that's the website. Make sure you check that out. So it's the number 1 letter V on the track.com, and you can find all the beats that I've been making. You can lease them if you need beats for your EP or your mixtape or your album, whatever. There's merch on there now too, so you can purchase that. And I'm actually going on tour starting August 26th. So I'll be traveling. I'm partnering up with the Extreme Tour, and they go all over the country, all over the world, really. They do, like, international tours. So that's gonna be really cool, man. I'm excited. Make sure you look that up. Yes. 1V on the track on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on Twitter and Snapchat, but Instagram, Facebook tend to be more active. YouTube as well for music videos. And then I'll try to be more active on Snapchat, but we'll see, man. Just, I guess you gotta be on the lookout to see.
Yeah, right.
See if it does happen.
Yeah, man, hit it up. Go get some, buy some beats, buy some merch.
Yes, please do. Support. Please do support. That helps out more than you know. Like, just going on this trip, it's gonna cost me a good amount of money, just from stuff that I'm missing out here.
Right.
And then not really getting paid a lot for this, so it's kind of a risk, but it's all for a good purpose, and the end goal is what I'm kind of focused on. So
most definitely.
Yep.
Well, thank you again, sir.
No, thank you.
Yes. Until next time, people, see you later. Peace.